to the show. Now, starting this Sunday is Naidoc Week, where Indigenous Australians from all walks of life come together to celebrate their culture and achievements of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Now, our special guest tonight is one hell of a songwriter, guitarist and didgeridoo player who is passionate about conveying his heritage through his music. Please welcome, with a big round of applause, Scott Darlow! Scott, thank you so much for coming.
Mate, thanks so much for having me.
Looking good.
Feeling great.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Hopefully you feel a little better after this segment.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm really impressed. Fingers crossed. Oh, Jesus, the pressure's on now. What I'm most excited about is that you've not only travelled around the world performing, but you've been busking, like in Hong Kong and LA. Tell us about how is it to busk in those type of areas?
I feel really, really bad right now because there's been a miscommunication.
There's been a miscommunication. I
didn't actually busk. What happened? We were talking about this at the back. What happened? I was in LA and I do a lot of stuff in America, and I had been in Venice Beach having a photo shoot. Yeah. And there was this old guy who's like a fixture on Venice, if you've ever been there, and he busks. He's amazing. And I wanted to take some photos using his stuff, and so I said, dude, I'll buy a copy of your CD if you let me sing one song. And then somebody filmed it, unbeknownst to me, and put it on YouTube. And so now all these people go, dude, you busk, and really props to you, and we respect that you busk. And I'm like, I don't.
Well, look, that's okay.
It's a bit awkward at that moment.
No, it's not embarrassing at all. The 5 people watching at home are really embarrassed for me.
My wife's sitting there going, do your homework, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing so well so far. Yeah. What I'm really excited about as well is that you do a lot of work with young people and disadvantaged communities. Will you tell us a bit about that?
Well, during the day, I go into about 100 high schools a year around Australia. And also a bunch overseas. And what happened, I used to be a high school teacher for about 2 years, and then, look, mate, you lock one kid in the cupboard for a couple of hours, everyone loses their mind.
That's what I was saying in my monologue, man. Everyone's sensitive nowadays.
Oh, I know, man.
Kids love being locked up. Look at Harry Potter. He turned into a super genius.
I know, right? Where were you when I had my hearings? Anyway, no, I didn't really lock anyone up. I'm just kidding, all right? Just kidding, I'm kidding. No, I did it for 2 years, and then I realised I was far more passionate about talking about my Aboriginality and things that are happening in Australia with Indigenous people than I was about teaching kids how to play musical instruments. So I quit and started playing music full time, and it was just a natural progression, and now I find myself in 100 schools a year, and what I do is I sing and tell some jokes and connect, but then I'll speak for about an hour, and it's basically I just teach kids about the history of our country, things that have happened since 1788 through to today, because you've got to understand the context of why things are. You can't just say, well, this is what's happening and expect people to care. Yeah. You know, so when you teach them, and really the key of it is empathy, trying to get people to go, how would I feel if that happened to me and my family? And then I talk about current issues. So I talk about, you know, genocide, land displacement, stolen generation. I talk about my Aboriginal family on my mum's side is Aboriginal. Stories growing up on the mission, all those kind of things, stolen generation, right through to issues that we see today like Close the Gap. But the crux of it is really saying to kids, your generation is going to be the one that changes it, and challenge you guys to be history makers. Well, what does reconciliation mean to you? Reconciliation means to me, look, I'm passionate about education, and at the moment in Australia, the proportion of Aboriginal people who finished high school compared to non-Aboriginal people is horrific. It's about 4% compared to about 65%. So the flow on from that is you just don't have Indigenous people in white-collar jobs. You know, there's a whole generation of Aboriginal kids growing up going, if I don't get drafted to play AFL footy, I don't have a future, because nobody they know or is related to has ever done it. Of course. You know, so for me, reconciliation is about going, let's get kids educated. Let's really get education as a key priority. So there's a number of different ways that I believe can happen. But I'm involved with World Vision, who have got an amazing program called Linking Hands. Yeah, tell us about that. So so they've got this, I mean, it's fantastic. They took me up to Sydney and showed me some stuff in Redfern, and they're involved in schools all over the shop. But it's just mentoring, really, and it's just getting Indigenous people from those communities involved with kids and really just getting them through school. And it's working. So now you've got a situation where you've got, you know, little kids growing up, and the role models they have that they look up to and get excited about are their cousins who are going to school, rather than, you know, maybe more negative influences in the past. So, yeah, so that's I get really excited about what World Vision are doing, because it is literally making a difference, you know. And I think one of the things about Australia is we're such a passionately generous country. You know, when the tsunami happened, everyone gave money. Yes. And we should give money to overseas. Of course. But I reckon we ought to be more passionate about our own backyard than we are about someone else's. Yeah, so, exactly. Now, you've done an album, Solid Rock. Well, the album's called Darlow, but Solid Rock's a single.
Solid Rock's a single from,
Yeah.
oh, gee, hello. And you bust in,
Yeah. And I'm also a male model and play for Geelong. So, yeah.
So am I. Oh,
High five.
Yeah, all right. I'm a full forward.
Hey, you and Julia Gillard. You and Julia Gillard?
Yeah, me and Julia Gillard, man, we're like that. So tell us about performing with Goanna.
Well, again, I hate to pick you up, man, but I didn't perform with Goanna because that's Shane's band.
Right, that's it. I'm out of here. Cut, I'm going.
I've recorded a version of Solid Rock.
Is this Scott Darlow that we have here?
Yeah.
Good. And I'm Rob Lloyd.
Yep.
And this is Rove Live.
No, you're...
Sorry.
You're almost right. So I recorded a version of Solid Rock, which is a hit by Goanna.
Yes.
And Shane Howard's the man who wrote it and sang it, the front man of Goanna, who are the band. And Shane, I got in touch with and said, would you please sing it with me as a duet, because no one will listen to it on my own. And he said yes. So we sang it together. I got to record with one of my heroes.
And how was that? How was that performing with your hero? Did you freak out? Did you do the whole Meet Your Idol thing?
I'm not going to lie. When he walked into the studio, I had 3 drops of wear in my undies.
Only 3? Oh, okay.
Well, I was controlling myself.
That's really good.
I know, man, because the last time... Anyway, it doesn't matter.
At the moment, I got 300 in my undies, that's for sure. I was doing fine until a couple of minutes ago.
I'm wearing an adult diaper anyway.
Oh, you are? Awesome. So am I. Yeah.
Come on.
Geelong.
Yeah. No, it was amazing, and he rocked in, and he gave me a real lesson on a lot of things, and he's an amazing man. He's super talented. He's a sweetheart, and I feel so blessed to just be able to call him a friend.
Well, we're blessed to have you here, and we're very blessed to have you actually do something that we haven't done on Live on Bowen before, is actually have you perform live. Are you happy to do that?
I'm psyched.
Oh, good. Well, I am as well. Well, get yourself set up, and I'll give you a bit of an introduction.
No worries. Thanks.
Okay. Now, remember, if you'd like to get involved in Naidoc events in your community, please visit the website, www.naidoc.org.au even. And here to perform his song, Sorry, from his album Underground. Yeah, just chuck it over there. That's fine. You can do that.
That's what happened right there.
It happened right there, live on air. Scott Darlow. He busted Venice Beach. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Scott Darlow!
Say what you do, why can't you see my point today? Look around you, I try to tell you, it doesn't seem to matter what I say. People hurting, people crying, stolen history is here to stay. It's here today. Across the nation, generations, I feel the sorrow and the shame. Bloodline history, family misery. Look into my eyes and share my pain. We're dying inside because of your pride. Oh, I want you say, oh, I want you say. Won't you
here with the land we've been one day and night. But then they came along and stole our land and song, carried right on with their genocide. Yet you choose to say that was yesterday. Sorry isn't needed here tonight. We're here tonight. Sorry for the tears down through the years you've cried. Sorry for respect that you've been denied. Sorry for the tears down through the years you've cried. Sorry for respect that you've been denied. Bulangara, my bulangara, gurnaragara, my bulangara. Won't you say, won't you say, won't you say, won't you
Scott Darlow!